I think this is going to be one of my less structured videos. So the reason I wanted to make this was because I've had a pretty normal day. I've worked, I've done normal things, and it's been a pretty good day, to be honest. I even had a nap. But sometimes you just feel quite down and you don't really know why. Sometimes there's a specific reason and you'll probably know what they are when they arise. But I think especially as we move towards Christmas, I think where everyone's happy and jolly and you're supposed to be happy and really joyful and upbeat, sometimes it's just nice to have a little reminder that you're not alone if you feel quite off. Like, it's alright to feel that way, you're not just by yourself. Sometimes this time of year can bring up quite sad memories where you're remembering people you've lost, whether it's just a pet or if it's someone really close to you, like a parent or a brother or sister. So I thought I'd just share a few thoughts about this. Like I say, it might be a bit of a rambly video. There's no 1, 2, 3 step or anything like that. It's just a few little pointers as to perhaps normalize if you're feeling a bit down. What I've been noticing more recently in the last few years of my life is when these kind of feelings arise, sometimes it's best to, now I want to be careful when I say this, I don't mean give up, but I mean just accept that you're feeling a bit off for the day. If you're really having a crisis, please do seek help. There are free services, Samaritans, for example. But if you know you're not at a crisis point and you're just feeling bad, and sometimes you can just be aware that it's a little sign that it can just be time for a bit of rest. Especially at the end of a year, all our goals come to a head and we start thinking about the next year. That makes you contemplate the goals that you had for this year. Sometimes you might have not met any of them. Sometimes things could have gone horribly wrong. But sometimes it might have been a good year. None of this is to guarantee that you have a good day or a bad day. It can be a sign that things need to change, and that's a positive, because although it's hard to change, at least you'll know what direction you need to avoid. Because sometimes when we feel bad, it's because there's a repeating cycle in our lives which makes us feel bad. Whether it's an old habit that used to make you feel good, or has just become a bit of a hobby and now ends up being something detrimental to your mental and or physical health. It doesn't really matter what it is. You might do well to have a little time to think by yourself and maybe have a little bit of journaling time, something distraction free, like no games, no phones, no endless videos, no binging, anything, just to hide those emotions. You need to confront them, because the sooner you confront things that are really bothering you, whether they're something really small or something really significant, confronting them can just help you move on with your life faster, rather than wasting days, months, years just battling the same problems. Personally, everything's going well in my life, more or less. There are things that I would like and things that I wish were a little bit different, but I can't say that anything's really wrong. I'm doing a degree which I love. I've got work, I'm healthy, and I'm making progress in almost all areas of my life. And for some reason, I've gone through the whole day feeling pretty chipper, and now I just have a bit of a lull. It's kind of that empty kind of feeling. You're not too sure what the right way forward is. It's not like, oh, I need to rest and sleep. I don't really want to sleep. You don't really know what you want. I don't really want to do any hobbies. I don't want to watch any films. Sometimes you just don't want to do anything, and it doesn't feel great. But it's okay to feel that way. If I was to give any advice for people that have these lows now and then, not a knock on anyone with, clinical depression or anything like that, but there are things that you can do that will potentially help speed up that get over it process. It might be that you need to just try something completely new, whether you need to go out the house and go and socialize, perhaps go to a club that you've always wanted to go to, start writing that book that you've always wanted to do, perhaps crack on with that business that you always wanted to start. Although they seem like monumental mountains of tasks, then once you start them, you might find that that is what has been bothering you, just being fed up with yourself constantly putting something off. Or like I said before, you might just need some rest, and I mean like deep rest, because you might have been sleeping badly recently, which actually makes me think I've not had great nights of sleep in the last week, which is something that, again, you shouldn't really just dismiss. There are little things like that which can have massive impacts on your life. Personally, sleep is one of them that really affects me. I can have the best day ever, but if I've had a terrible night's sleep or the next day I don't sleep very well, then I can have a really bad time. So don't dismiss the little aspects of your life which might need a little tweak, which can really influence your health. So aside from hobbies and trying new things like going out, perhaps you really don't want to go anywhere, perhaps you just want to be at home. That's okay too. But what I would say is that sometimes, again, I don't mean give up. I've got to be really careful when I say that kind of thing. What I mean is relax and give in to certain feelings of needing rest. And what I mean by that is just lay on your bed or sit somewhere quietly, dim the lights, and just be quiet for a while and let your brain just drift. Don't let distractions just flood in. Don't let your phone be buzzing, and don't stick on the TV. Sometimes just put on some dreary music and something sad which makes you more emotional, something to bring up those emotions to the surface, because you might need to just let something out. And I really emphasize this idea of just being quiet for a while and letting yourself listen to sad stuff. Sometimes it just helps your brain just switch off and you process things. It can make you feel a lot better a lot sooner, rather than running into a load of distractions and burying your head in the sand without just letting yourself feel what your body wants to feel for a little while. The main idea of me talking to the camera in this video is just to kind of say you're not alone again. Like I said before, you're not just by yourself if you're having a bad day. Everyone is at certain times. I think a lot of time there's still shame and feeling of guilt, and there's, oh, I shouldn't feel this way because nothing is really wrong in my life. I think that can hold people back from living a good life because they don't seek help, or they don't discuss things, they don't confront problems that they are dealing with that is making them feel this way. And be aware of people that look like they never have any bad days, when actually you'll probably find that they just don't tell anyone because they're ashamed of it. But they're also the same kind of people that make you feel embarrassed about sharing it, because you think, oh, they never get this, like there must be something different about me. But everyone goes through their ups and downs, they really do. Don't be afraid to seek someone's help, whether it's someone you really know and trust, a family member or a friend, or often it can be more preferable to find someone anonymous, an anonymous professional, not some random person to rant at online. It could also help to just sit by yourself for a while in a quiet room with the lamp on and write down your goals, realign where you're heading in your life, because sometimes you feel that way and you feel bad because you kind of feel lost and you don't really know which direction you're going in anymore. That can really affect people. And that's something that can really affect me personally, is sometimes when I lose focus of where I'm heading. So things are going pretty well for me, but then if I lose sight of where I want to end up, it can start to make you feel like, what's the point of it all? Then you go into a bit of a spiral. So just realigning yourself with where you're heading, what your goals are, what you're grateful for in your life, if that works for you. Gratitude journaling helps people. Personally, I've not got used to it yet, but there's evidence that it really does help people. So just be aware of these people that potentially hide their feelings a bit better than others. Everyone goes through really low moments and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Try different methods of being really more active, try different methods of really relaxing, do something more proactive in terms of reflective exercises like journaling, talking to the camera, talking to the microphone on your phone, anything which helps you process things. Because a lot of therapy is actually just talking through your emotions and your feelings and what you're thinking about. And just talking through things sometimes can really benefit you. It can help you process bad things. It can help you process things that you're feeling overwhelmed by. It can help you feel a lot more in control just by addressing what you're really feeling and talking things through. So good luck, have a little play around with things, and remember, it's okay not to feel okay.